Hi everyone, welcome to Business for Builders podcast. Welcome to you if you're in YouTube land. My name is Max Peterson. I'm the CEO of Smith & Sons Remodeling Experts here in Canada. And look, today I just really want to, it's a Monday here in the sunny Okanagan here in British Columbia. And I just wanted to, give some encouragement, although I don't think this is going to go live to the end of the week. So let's use this for next week. But I think a lot of what we do, and I'm always talking to general contractors, and, most of the time, and I am a general contractor, a carpenter by trade, run my own building company, and, we tend to sort of hang our hat on the fact that we're really good at construction. We might have had a big background in construction before we actually went out on our own, and it is definitely a place of comfort and security when we're on a building site and we're building whatever it is that we might be building. What happens is then we, at some point we make a decision whether we just wanted to change or we want to do something different, and we go and decide to open a building company where we're dealing directly with retail. And so today, what I felt to cover is just to, chat to individual general contractors about their feelings around, because I've heard this. It's like, Max, look, I'm really good at building stuff, but I'm not a very good salesperson, or I don't like to do sales. And I think sales, being a salesperson or undertaking sales is easy when you know how. And, you might have heard me talk a lot about systems and processes, and particularly sales process, and, having a standard qualifying process, having a well-documented sales process that outlines qualification procedures, and, really determining what your client avatar is, or, what your preferred client profile is. And I think, I've even had guys, and this comes down to branding and marketing, and you've heard me waffle on about that as well, but you've heard me talk about branding and marketing, and I've had some of my guys say to me, Max, the leads that are coming in are not necessarily all good leads, but the ones that are qualified well and that qualify well, he says, I feel like an order taker. You might have heard me say that before. And the reason is because people, I don't know about you, but when I go to Amazon, most of the time I'm going to Amazon to buy. I'm already in the buying mode. I'm ready to purchase. I've just got to find the right product with the right amount of, testimonials, or the right amount of reviews with the right amount of stars, and I'm ready to purchase. And I think, that's because we can do so much homework on the brand. We can Google a brand outside of Amazon, then we can come back into Amazon and look at all of the reviews inside of that ecosystem. And then, we're in a position to buy. And so, we don't want to, if your website is set up that way and you've got video testimonials, then you're halfway there. But what I want to, really reinforce today is that selling is easy when you know how. Selling is easy when you have a system in place. But the ultimate thing is that you've got to see yourself as a salesperson. Now, I know you're a carpenter or you're a builder or whatever, and you don't like to call yourself that, but at some point you've got to understand that before you get into construction, you've got to close the deal, which means first and foremost, you're a marketer and a salesperson. And so, I think the biggest and the best sell or sale that you will achieve in your career is the sale that you make to yourself. The sale whereby you demonstrate the values and benefits to you as the salesperson, and understand that, if you have a building company that is as good as you say it is, then you will understand how important, your development as a salesperson is. And I think a lot of us will run away and say, well, no. They live in denial. They're like, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a carpenter. I'm a builder. But I want to tell you today that it's you are a salesperson first and foremost. And so, even for me today, as I do the job that I do, it all focuses around sales. And I think that the mystique and the mystery that's associated with it, I think a lot of my success in sales, and of course, selling franchises is certainly not the easiest job in the world. It has its challenges, but I tell you, when I apply a bunch of empathy and I tell my story about what I used to do as what I used to struggle with as a carpenter and as a builder, and then how we really do change the way we do business and we do sales within the Smith & Sons group, that is what really is an inside line, if you like. It's really something that resonates with a lot of general contractors when I talk with them. And so, I also know that, for me to be where I'm at, it's not been a 5-minute process. It's been a grind. There's no question. Maybe there is some gift of the gab or something in the DNA that allows you to be a good salesperson. But, I know that there's a lot of guys and gals that perhaps don't appear to be good salespeople, but they're able to close deals. Because really, I think once you've got over the challenge of, removed yourself from the situation where there's pressure on you to be a hardcore salesperson, and you understand that actually sales is an enjoyable process of just delivering the value or demonstrating the value, answering a lot of the buying questions, and really having an organized process through which you go through when you are talking to a prospective client. It really does make closing the sale a lot simpler. And everything stems. Your business will live and die on your ability to market and demonstrate value and obviously make the deal or close the sale. And so, I think you need to draw a line in the sand before you start talking about websites. If you're just about to get started, you really need to start doing some sales training of some sort. You really need to understand some of the nuances. And in today's sale, 20 years ago, sales could be very much a manipulative process, and this is what turns people off about being a sales guy or gal. They're like, well, that's not me. That's not who I am. So I can't possibly sell. The thing is, when you've got a system that's set up that suits human beings, in other words, a system that you would be happy to go through, then it's just a matter of leading the process. For me, and what I do mostly these days, although I enjoy doing retail, whenever it's called for, when I'm helping one of my guys. Today I speak to general contractors. So keep in mind that when we're dealing with retail, that's business to consumer. And so there's a little bit of a different nuance when it comes to dealing with homeowners and customers. Whereas for me, I'm selling to businesses. I'm talking to you, the general contractor. And so the process is the same up until the product becomes the differentiation. I talk to homeowners about how their lifestyle is going to improve. I'm going to talk to them, about what the aesthetic value of this project is important to them. What do they want the project to look like? I talk to them about, some of the budget constraints and what some of the budget forecasts might be around certain aspects of their home. So what I'm doing is I'm really wanting to understand what it is as the end result, because then it's just a process of me going through the elimination and figuring out what can I get them, what's it going to look like, and is it going to fit within their budget? And so when I'm chatting with general contractors, the same process. It's really, if you ever get the opportunity to talk to me about how a Smith & Sons business, would improve your situation and maybe help you scale up a business and give you a better lifestyle, you will notice that my approach is not to sell you all the features and benefits of the business. However, we will get to that. What's more important for me to kick off the conversation is I will say to you, like I say to my retail clients, so Bill, tell me a story. Tell me what bugs you about your business at the moment. And, this is me in my sales mode. This is me being a salesperson. And really, it's quite simple. When it becomes second nature that you're not trying to convince someone, you are just trying, Gary Vaynerchuk, who's someone that I follow a lot of, he says, don't try and sell to the unsellable. There's probably a great first rule when it comes to developing your skill as a salesperson. And see, the thing is, if you develop the skill as a good salesperson, you become an effective communicator, then what you'll find is your business will begin to grow. Because if you can do that with clients, you will then also do that with employees, and you'll have that sort of ability to develop relationships with your subcontractors, and you'll be able to negotiate deals with your vendors and with your suppliers. And so, that's why I say, sales is easy when you know how. And so what we have to do as general contractors is get comfortable in the process, as I do try to get comfortable with general contractors. Now, as soon as I get any major pushback, I'm going to push a little bit, and I'm going to sort of try and get general contractors who I'm chatting about the business with and try and get them to see reason. But at the end of the day, I'm going to recognize the fact that I think we're done. And so that, really, if I went micro and I went deep on that, what it comes down to is that general contractors are fairly autonomous by themselves. They got a fairly healthy ego, and they're not going to be told to do anything by anybody unless they want to be. And so that's what I know about my target market, my potential clients. And so you've got to have that level of empathy that says, I am understanding, because you know what, when I talk to general contractors today and they basically say, no, it's not a fit, it's not going to work, it's not something I'm interested in, that doesn't mean that in 12 months something's not going to change, and all of a sudden they're going to be a little bit more open-minded to investigate the opportunity. I've had that several times, even in the business, even at such a young age of the business. And so I never get discouraged. My opportunity will be better in 12 months than what it is today. So I'm more than happy to wait, and let's do another go around. Because here's what will happen. This is what I know about my target market, and it's why I'm happy doing sales. Because I'll have a guy who'll say to me, nah, not for me. I don't think it's got any legs. And I have absolutely had this in the last 30 days where a guy has come back to me and said, look, I've held your details because I didn't feel it was right then, but I want to reopen it, and I want to start talking to you about it more. And I'm telling you, and we've had that on retail as well. And so, look, I think when you fall in love with the process, because I'm not like, I love sales so much because I'm a crazy. Bottom line is, what I love to do is I love to help people. And I like to use my knowledge and my experience and to be able to sit with clients. And I make sure that I don't spend my whole life there. I make sure they're well qualified. Probably by this time, I may have actually, charged them a little bit for my services, because that's part of our qualifying process. I want to see if I can transact at a low level. But I would want to have demonstrated value and shown them where the value is in dealing with Smith & Sons. And then, at some point, we'd love to be able to transact at a high level. And that's part of our sales process. And so, I think you need to rest in the fact that you are good enough where you are currently. What I need you to do is to not rest on your laurels and think that you can just stay the same and still develop and grow a business. You need to understand that, all of us are going to continue to grow. For me, being in a new country, there's still stuff that I'm learning. I go out and watch my boys play football on the weekend, and I'm on this thing called the stick crew, or the chain gang, or the chain crew, or whatever the hell it's called, the guys that mark the 10 yards. And, it's a whole new experience for me. I really do enjoy going into a situation and having very little idea on what I'm supposed to do, because I love to test myself. I love to watch how quickly that I can adapt, because I know that if I can keep that muscle active and I keep building that muscle, it really does serve me well going forward, developing a business. And you can learn. It doesn't matter whether you're working on site right now and you're doing foundations and forms and framing. You can be educating yourself, like listening to this podcast or watching this YouTube video, and slowly beginning to work out where you love to operate in. And if you keep coming back to videos like this that talk about sales and business development and establishing a brand and marketing and helping out retail clients, what you'll find is that you'll start to identify where your strong suit is. And alternatively, if it starts making you throw up, you'll work out that, no, I think I just got to stay in my groove as an employee. And so, I think, entrepreneurship and your ability to become and develop as a salesperson goes hand in hand. I think, having an entrepreneurship or an entrepreneur DNA doesn't guarantee your success, because you need to be able to sell the vision to not even clients at the moment, but you need to be able to sell the vision to maybe investors, business partners, employees. I think every time that I've had to recruit an employee, I've had to sell the vision. They've got to, it's not just a matter of someone that comes in and they're applying for a job and sits down with me and I get to do all the qualifying. The person that's wanting the job may not like what they see. And so, it's up to me to sell the vision. So I think, and you'll know it, you've probably got a spouse or a partner where you want to go and buy that toy, or you want to go on that holiday, and you've got to sell that to them. It's the same process. If you go in for a hard sell, people are probably going to push back. If you go in there and you start building rapport and talking about some of the benefits, you'll find that you do more sales in your ordinary everyday life, maybe to justify certain decisions, changes. Certainly when we came to this country, I had a spouse that was giving me all the BS reasons as to why it was better to live in Canada. I'm sort of starting to believe her, but, it took a long time for me to be convinced that moving to this country was a good deal. And so, I think you need to resign to the fact that if you are entrepreneurial and you want to build a business, becoming a great salesperson is part of the deal. And the biggest sale that you're going to make is to yourself, that you can develop into that person. So I'm not saying that you are there now. I'm not saying that you got to love it. I'm just saying that you can learn to love it if you want to build a great company. Now, maybe you're a person that says, no, I'm a good entrepreneur and a good business builder, but I don't like doing sales. Well, I guess you got to find someone that wants to do sales, and that's certainly another option. Look, I hope that's helped. That's been a few minutes, but I really want to focus on setting yourself up for success and doing that via understanding that being a salesperson is not as bad as what you think it can be. There's definitely a lot of framework around it to make it a lot simpler for you and your business, and to develop that business that you want. It's going to give you a better lifestyle. So if you like what you heard, like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. If you've got a question, certainly you can hit me up on email, max@businessforbuilders.ca, and you can actually text me at 250-241-8866, and we will get back to you as promptly as we can. Have a great day. Go build a kick-ass business. See you next time.